I want to welcome you to the Eclipsys Emergency Department Status Board demonstration. Some of you are very familiar with EHRs, some of you are not. Some of you have used an ED status board before, and some of you will be going through a credentialing process where you'll have some actual hands-on time with a training environment. I wanted to give you a very quick overview of our ED status board and some of its features. So let's open up Eclipsys. You may see this window initially. You may click over the sidebar, click the emergency care window, and pull up our status board. So you can see that our status board basically gives us an overview and a snapshot of our entire department, including the waiting room. If I scroll here, you can see we're over at Weill Cornell. We're broken down into two: Area A, B, C, urgent care, psych, and we also have something called rapid medical examination. So you can scroll through our entire department. You can see this is our training environment. There are test patients here. Don't contain any real information, but at least you can get an idea of what some of the features of our status board are. So WR is our waiting room. They're waiting to be quick regged, but you can see as I scroll through the entire department, you can see everyone who's up. Scroll over to Area A. You can now see every patient that's here in Area A. You can use your filters. You can hide your empty locations. You can show your own patients. Click Apply Filter, and now we have only the patients that are actually in beds in the emergency department. So let's get started. We can see that we have the location, medical record number, patient name, their ages. They're also color-coded: pink for female, blue for male. They'll have a quick problem that's entered by the triage nurse, an ESI level, length of stay, status timer, nursing, so on and so forth as the columns are labeled here. You can hover. You can see how that the arrow will bring up a description if there is a description, if it's not already self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and select a patient. Let's say I'm going to go see Mr. Test, ACM. He's in A Bay, room 4 on the left side of the room. I'll click to highlight. If I'm the attending, I will sign myself up for the patient by double-clicking, scrolling down to my name, and I'm now assigned to the patient, and now you can see that the status of the patient has changed from to be seen to evaluation. So I can go ahead and look at some of the things that have been done for the patient. First things first, I usually look at if that patient's been here before. Click on the Documents tab and just close down this sidebar to give us a little bit more real estate. And oftentimes I'll change the chart selection to all available charts. You can see anywhere from 6 months, 1 year ago, or the start of all charts. I'll pick 6 months ago. You can see that there was a note from March 12th, 2013, a difficult airway note. We can go ahead and choose through our tabs to flip back to our status board. We can also see if there are new orders. This is usually for the nurses in this column here. They check orders. They're green. You can see that there are some orders to be picked up. Usually the nurse takes care of that. Close this window here. You can see our new results. That's usually a yellow flag. If this MLM patient, I needed to check the new results, I can click here, and that will bring up another window that there was a manual differential that was canceled. You can either clear the flag or don't clear the flag. So let's go ahead and look at some of the tools that we have on our status board. So I've highlighted MLM team. Let's say I want to write a note. This is enter a document. You can see that I can pull up our document menu, decide which note I want to start on this patient. Another common function is to actually enter the orders. So if you're asked to enter orders, this chart with the pen is how we enter orders. All of our emergency department orders will start with ED. So if you decide to use the pick list, or you somehow want to get back to the ED orders, you just preface with ED. Or you can pick the particular name of the test that you want to order. So those are the two main functions. The refresh button, obviously, if there are changes that you want to see, if there's a new patient that's being brought in, the status board actually refreshes every 30 seconds or every 30 to 60 seconds. So you may see a little bit of a lag. If you want to change the location of a patient, if you want to search a particular patient that may not appear on the board, you can enter their health issues. That's something that we'll cover in another topic. Enter their prescriptions, their allergies, work list. We can print some reports if we need to, the lab tests. We have, and then you can add other toolbar functions. You can see that we also have Epic. Epic is mostly here for our ambulatory care centers. They use their Epic as an EHR. We have a link to that. We have a link to our discharge instructions. We have a link to our PACS, which is our radiology viewer. And we have a radio results viewer. We can always add a new tool to our toolbar. Clicking preference using toolbar, deciding, let's say I want to have Lexicomp. I'll select that. I'll choose the add button, and here I'll have Lexicomp online. It's one of my selections. Pay attention to the headers. Oftentimes we get into problems with we're actually trying to look for or enter orders or enter a document on our patient MLM. Sometimes we'll have it highlighted on JJ test, and we'll be thinking that we're actually entering on MLM team. Be very careful that this is the highlighted patient. You can double check with the header, which shows some information, name, age, their MD, the medical record number. You can see that they have the age here. So let's say I want to enter an order on MLM team. I will press the order button. You'll get this. We've actually added another verification screen that you'll see in our live production version. Unfortunately, it's not in the developmental database. So that's basically our status board in a nutshell. You can see that once an EKG is done, they'll appear here. If there's lab orders, let's see if we can find the patient that has these things entered. Switch to ARP. So things will appear if they're ordered. If they've returned, you'll see them under the appropriate column. You'll see also we've initiated a new results feature. If there is a pending test or a result that isn't there when you're ready to discharge the patient, you'll get an alert. We have our Dispo Ready column. There are four basic icons that will appear when all of the alerts and the verifications have been performed on a particular patient. So you need to have an attending attestation. You need to have a diagnosis entered. If you're a medical student or a resident, that doesn't apply to you. These are usually attending specific functions. We have a med reconciliation, which is the sunglasses. At every point in a person's visit, whether inpatient or outpatient, they should have their medications verified. And finally, the H is an HIV test offering. New York State, in particular, has a rule that is a law that patients presenting to the emergency department must be offered an HIV test. So we've initiated this rule. There are people who don't necessarily qualify, people who've been in the emergency department before, pediatric patients or very old patients, or patients who've already been offered the test. So you'll see this H appear. And once all four of these icons appear, you know that that patient is ready to be discharged from a documentation point of view. So I'm looking forward to working with you, and hopefully this was a good, simple, quick and easy demonstration of our e-status board.